I'm going to ask that you fasten your seatbelt.
I've just got married to you, and all day long, I'm having to hear you be asked, would you do this person? Would you do that person? Do you think this person is attractive? And it happens all day. That's all they think about.
It is what all they think about.
It's all they think about. It would even be like, you'd see people climbing into cars in ways that nobody climbs into the car. And then like bending over things and leaning over things in the classroom.
It did happen, yeah.
Like, if I was that person's wife and I heard this, I would cry right now. Like, broke my heart. I was like, how can you talk like that when your wife is at home? You think it, but you just don't act on it. So you do have that instinct to like look at a woman or think about a woman like that.
I won't say that it's not tempting. It's definitely a test. Assalamu alaikum, guys. What's going on? We are the X's and welcome back to the channel.
Today, we're going to be talking about our first year of marriage. The mariage. We've talked before in videos about how it was rough, rocking time.
Rough and rocking.
I feel like I was like a teenager. I wasn't.
You were like a teenager. Part of the thing that I said is, listen, you're 28 years. Were you 28?
No, I'm
26?
29 now.
No,
I
how
was
old were you?
25.
I think, yeah, so you're 25 and I was like, Amara, we can't be carrying on like we're 16 years old.
Yeah, he was very patronizing the way he phrased that at the time.
Was it?
He's like, you're just like a teenager.
I didn't
You're
say
like a
that.
young girl.
I didn't say that
You're
straight
like-
off the jump.
But then,
That was
no.
after a while.
But then it came to be that he means that I had a lot less life experience, which is true.
Yeah.
Because I'd come from a very sheltered like environment.
Yeah.
Grew up with girls, just been around girls. Marry you.
Yeah.
You're a man. You're a boy.
My man.
I know nothing about boys.
Yeah.
And my parents were divorced, so I also didn't really know a marriage dynamic. I'd not seen one in a long time.
I felt like I just couldn't get through. I felt like I can't get through to you. I think you took a lot of your like basis of what a marriage is from like sitcoms.
Excuse me, I at least came in with a plan.
Magazines. And
I feel like you're
that.
attacking me right now. So we ended up working together. So I'll get to how we did that, but we ended up working together for 2.5 years. We worked together,
Yeah.
and so many great aspects of it that I don't want this video to overshadow. But there were some immediate tests and immediate things that made the first year of marriage very complicated. And I feel like while it's relatable, the first year of marriage is difficult for a lot of people. I don't think you understand. Like, even at the time, I try and talk to people about it and nobody could relate because they weren't working with their husband. And it's not like, oh, he like puts his clothes in the wrong place. No. This is having to see things you don't want to see and hear things you don't want to hear. But yeah, we'll get into it. This is a very vulnerable topic for me to talk about because it doesn't paint me in the best light.
I think it's fine.
I feel like people are going to really judge me.
It doesn't matter what people say. You're in a relationship and a marriage to me. I am your protector. Everything's fine. Okay?
That's what is nice though.
What I'm saying,
you always did get where I was coming from.
I totally get where you're coming from. I still get it now. I think all of your reasoning is valid.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah.
But there has to be an end point to it.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think these are real feelings and things that if the shoe was on the other foot, that I would totally understand.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Listen, instead of me reeling off a bunch of disclaimers now, at the end of the video, I'm going to give a few disclaimers. Try not to judge me along the way, okay? Try to climb into my experience.
Yeah.
This is what this is.
Always reserve your verdicts until
Till
the end of the story.
Yes, I know
Let's get the full
I
context.
know these
first.
podcasts are a bit longer, right? But listen, at some point, skip back to the end and just don't judge me until you understand what was going on.
That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah. Cut my wife some slack, man.
Okay.
We might as well start with we got married.
Yeah. We got married.
Drama.
We got married.
Yeah.
We got married and we went on honeymoon together.
Yeah.
My health wasn't great at the time. Yada yada.
Let me just say that I didn't know to the extent to which your health was bad.
Yeah.
So obviously when we were
I found it very hard to talk about my health.
yeah, I know.
So maybe that was my
I
bad.
remember asking
Yeah, you
whilst
did.
we were courting about your health and you kind of told me.
Courting.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Whilst we're getting to know each other.
Yeah.
And you told me about it. And then when we were in the relationship, you still held things back.
Yeah.
And it took a while, I think that first year, for me to actually even understand what was happening.
Because I wanted to present very like not healthy because I know you knew that I wasn't well, but I wanted to present very like female and very like ladylike and keeping especially when it's stomach issues, it is so hard to like share that with a person. and I'll share it with the internet. But I'm saying like it's really hard to like, you know, be open about that stuff as well. Yeah, first of all, I'm juggling my health. Every second day, basically, I'm like struggling to like juggle my health. And I'm missing my family so much because I'm only really around girls. I'm not really used to being around Sufyan. I'm just with a boy by myself. And I'm like, I remember thinking, where's all the giggling though? Like, I'm so used to hearing like my sisters giggle.
I'm not a giggly guy.
No, you're super fun. But you know when you're used to loud and then it gets really quiet. No, it's not. But it was an adjustment at first. So that was the first adjustment. That was difficult for me. I cried most of the honeymoon. Regret it because we could have had a banger of a time. Because we're Muslim, we hadn't really been out and about that much together around other people. Definitely not. Which comes into working together. So everything was different. I wasn't used to being around you, and I wasn't used to seeing you with other people either. So I'm watching you with the vendors and with other people, and you're so like respectful. And Sufyan's a low-key guy. Like, you're low-key. You don't really like, you're so polite and sweet and kind, but you don't really like engage in too much conversation, and you kind of keep your eyes low, and you know, you're like that. You're very reserved, super reserved.
So I'm looking around the whole time. That's right.
Yeah, you observe everything. You notice everything. Love that.
Watch when it comes in handy one day.
Okay.
One day where I like, listen, that car over there, that's the same car that was there that was the day. Blah blah. People jump out. I'm like, bang.
Whatever, man. He notices everything.
How did you notice?
We're on honeymoon, getting used to that stuff. Getting used to intimacy together and stuff. I don't really know you too well at this point though. Like, everything's very new. So I'm just learning about who you are and what you're like. So then we come back from honeymoon and we go straight into work. I'm working at a school and he's working at a different school.
So my job right now is the job after I've been let go from one company. I'm in this new job. I'm a head teacher at this point of the CCE school. If you watch the last video, where that video ended, this is where we're at now.
And I'm having a really miserable time where I'm working. Things are not going well. And Sufyan's like, I'm going to scoop you up and bring you to where I am. I'm like, that would never happen. I'm like really sad. My health's not good. My health's struggling. I'm having a miserable time at the school. I'm just like, that would never happen. Life would not be that great that I could just be around you all day. I'm like texting him at work like, I miss you so much. Like, and he's like, no, listen, there's a job that's come up in my school. I'm going to get you in, inshallah. You just need to interview it, smash the interview, and come work for me and come work with me. And I'm like, that would never happen. And we go through the stages and it happened.
On my side of things, I hated you working at that job.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
I didn't like it. Amara was ill. May Allah reward you, Amara. Amara's ill. Even I don't know the extent to which she's ill, but she's ill. And I've
I was
witnessed
having kidney infections and stuff as well.
I'm talking Amara at night time, keeled over on her hands and knees, just leaning over the bed, just crying, can't move. Obviously, I've got to get up and go to work the next morning, and I'm saying to Amara, just don't work anymore, just stop. But she's like, no, I can go, because she's used to just living like this in crisis, basically. Before we got married, you were cycling to work, and the vision in my head of that happening broke my heart. Broke my heart, and I was like, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please give me a way out of this. Give me a way out of this. Oh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please, I need to look after my wife. Turns out that I was able to bring you in.
And I was so excited because I was like, oh my God, I get daytime hours with him. Like, instead of being at this other job and having my well hours in another place, I get to have my well hours in front of him, and I get to be around him and see his face.
And it made a massive difference to our lives.
But I also hadn't like seen you in different environments yet, and I was so excited to be like, oh my God, I'm gonna see him go into a shop. I'm gonna see him work with kids. It's like because it's like not typical school as well. You go trampolining, you go to the cinema, do you know what I mean? You do
climb
different
mountains
things. You climb
mountains,
skydiving. Like, you do experiences through the day to keep the kids engaged. So it was like, oh my God, I get to do these experiences with him too. So I landed the interview. Sufyan didn't interview me before people say, yes, you I did the interview, your husband did. No, he didn't. He didn't interview me.
What happened? The school's a small school. There were at this time only 5 kids in the school, and it's me as a head teacher
and one other staff member.
Just for context, before I even started the job, and you know this, because I told you, I prayed during, like, as we were transitioning from the last job to a new job. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give me a job where I don't really need to interact too much with, like, in a haram setting, basically. And then this job comes up and it's just me and one staff member, and the staff at the time is like an Asian guy, and like it's just me and him. Alhamdulillah, regardless of whether it's a work setting or not. I don't want to just work alone with a random woman the whole day. I don't think that's not what the situation I wanted to be in, and I know that's going to cause fitna in my home as well. So I prayed to not be with a female. I end up working with a man. The man leaves, and I'm interviewing people, and I thought, Ooh, there's a vacancy here. I can see an opportunity. Can I shuffle some things around? Spoke to all of management. They said, yeah, bring her in for an interview.
So yeah, it worked well.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Well done, smashing the interview.
There were so many good parts of working together as well. Like it was the biggest blessing to the beginning of our marriage because we just got to know each other so deeply, and like I miss that now. I miss being around you all day long.
Yeah,
Like
it was a hard.
it was
thing.
it was a luxury. Do you know what I mean? Like to be around the person that you love and want to be around all day long and get paid for it. Like
Yeah,
that was a
true.
luxury. But
Big butt.
big butt.
I don't mean like that.
Listen,
Big butt.
it was so when we go into this now, don't take from it that it was all rubbish. It wasn't. It was a blessing.
Yeah, listen, our disclaimer is that the company viewed us in the most positive light.
Yeah, we were great.
had 100% pass rate.
Weren't we the best school?
We were the best school. No,
We were the best school. It was like a very familial feeling. Like they grew so well with us.
Yeah.
And we were just great.
And they saw us as parents. And
Yeah, they did.
You got obviously people from broken homes and trouble backgrounds saying, "Oh, I didn't know that
Marriage
looks like this. I didn't know that people speak to each other like that.
Yeah.
You just don't argue.
Yeah.
Can you be my parents? Asking can we take them home? Can we adopt them?
So sad when they're like, do you ever throw things at each other? We're like,
Yeah,
no.
asking those strange questions, and I was like, oh, that's heartbreaking. So yeah, they still contact us now, all of the kids.
Yeah, still talk to them now.
Yeah. So inside work, there was no conflict, no problem.
No.
Behind the scenes.
So basically, I go into this job really excited, right? I'm so excited to be around Sufyan all day. And he's describing to me the kind of staff that are there. He's like, there's this girl, she's like a tomboy. This young girl, the kids love her, you know, she vibes with their age and stuff. And you're describing these people. And I have learned being married to you, you're the worst describer. You're the worst describer. I wish I could even explain the most recent one, but I can't. It's too recent.
Do you know what it is? I'm not the worst describer. I'm describing things based on how I see it.
Okay.
No, it's true. If I say, look, this girl's just got this young energy, yeah? I'm describing it based on how I see it. These people don't even register on my...
Okay, this is not yours, babes, okay? You don't have to explain yourself. I go into the workplace and I see the people Sufyan described to me, and they don't look the way he described, but they were really nice, right? Well, some of them, I'll get into that. These people are stunning, like very beautiful women, very young, like sweet women. And I'm like, okay, he made it sound like everybody was just casual and raggle and tomboy. And I was like, these are not what tomboys look like where I'm from. Second of all, I was not prepared for the way boys talk. The kids were from criminalized. What was the back?
Yeah,
how
CC, so criminal child exploitation, right? They've all been trapping, they've all been selling drugs, they've all been like involved in knife crime or things of that nature. Yeah. They're like gangsters.
Sweet,
they're little sweet kids, yeah.
They're
But they're like the young gangsters that get all of the girls and they got all of the money and they like big bottoms and big breasts.
All they talk,
and they are very out there with how they speak.
Very visual, very
boys,
vulgar, very obsessed with bums. I didn't know what a batty was until I went.
You just say it funny.
I didn't know what a batty was.
I didn't know what a batty was.
And I also didn't know what food was. They used to talk about cooking food in the kitchen. I used to think, they're so good. They've got so many skills. They used to cook food. They didn't mean that kind of food. So I'm learning how things work, right? And at first, they're so polite, these boys, like so polite, very sweet to me, super sweet, and super respectful because they know I'm Sufyan's wife. Then they start to get more comfortable. And as soon as a woman was walking past that driveway, they would be like, yo, check the body on that thing, check the body on that thing. And it could be a postwoman, it could be a 60-year-old lady, it could be anybody, right? And they would be looking at their butt, not even looking at the face. That's how they didn't even get to the face yet. They just look at the butt, right? And not only are they looking at the butt and describing the butt, that's fine. You do what you're doing. That doesn't affect my life. They're asking you to look at the butt.
I got tricked.
They're asking you, and it happens all day long. It's not just once.
Amara, look. Right? Did you see that? I said, Amara, look, and she turned her head.
Babe,
if somebody
that's
says
different.
to you,
We're
if somebody says to you, yo, Soph, look, and I turn like that, and someone just happens to.
I got so mad at you. I was like, you should know better. You know what they're asking you to look at.
Look, I just proved it there.
So mad.
Oh, actually, yeah.
No, I didn't this time. No, but it was a fact of like, you know what they're gonna ask you to look at after a while. Well, I didn't know, and then I came to know. Right, all day long they're asking you to look at people's butts. Not only that, then on the TV screen, they want to put music videos on where people are not dressed. I don't mean old school.
They weren't allowed to watch that on the TV screen. They put it on their laptops. And when we saw it, we took it off.
I don't mean like a little strap top and a little thing. I'm not being prudish, I swear. This is like wearing strings.
Bum cheeks clapping.
Bum cheeks clapping on faces. Like, this is softcore porn. And I am just like, my husband keeps having to look at this. Or he's getting told to look at it. Or he has to go and switch the thing off. Then he's still looking at it. Like, all the time that's happening, right? They're not trying to be disrespectful to me. They're so sweet to me. They love me. They're being really sweet to me. But they keep asking you to look at people's butts.
Yeah, that's just because they saw me like a big brother kind of. Like,
yes, but they don't understand.
No, they were just bonding with me, weren't they?
Bonding.
Yeah, they're bonding with the bunda.
They don't think, yeah, but it's like they don't make a connect.
I'm like the big brother, but why would they?
Yeah, I know. They don't understand that that's hurtful to my feelings. Like, it's not even like they're trying to be like, I don't care about your feelings. They're really sweet to me. They care about my feelings. Like, let me get this chair. Let me pass you this.
Proper
Yo, Soph, look at that thing. It's like, they're like, yo, Soph, would you her? Would you her? I came to learn that means would you.
Yeah, I don't think you can say that, you know. That's like a very...
Is it really bad word?
Yeah, that's a bad word.
Oh, would you make
yeah.
love? They don't say that though. I'm just like, you know that Homer Simpson meme where he just goes back into the bush?
Obviously, no, but I said like, first they said, you know, I'm married, right? So I'm only really attracted to my wife, whoever my wife was here or somewhere else, you know. I'm just attracted to my wife. So yeah. But if you weren't though,
you give very good answers. But they press the question often, multiple times a day, different children. Yo, but would you do her? Yo, Soph, look at her. Would you do her though? I'm just like, and it's like, I've just got married to you, and all day long, I'm having to hear you be asked, would you do this person? Would you do that person? Do you think this person is attractive? And it happens all day. That's all they think about. And
it is all they think about.
It's all they think about.
It is all they think about. Look, again, so firstly, young adolescent boys are like that anyway, yeah? As soon as they become sexually active, especially in this society, that's what they're like anyway, yeah? On top of this...
All boys really like that?
Majority, yeah.
Yeah, but...
On top of it, it's to do with the culture as well. On top of this, our boys are from a certain kind of culture where they've had access to women, and they've been brought out of that, and now they're in a care home, and they've got no access to zero females, and so they have to speak about the females that are around them. That's why the 60-year-old would do, the 30-year-old would do, the 25-year-old would do. You starve a man, he'll be happy with conflict.
I never got asked, Amara, do you find that person attractive? Do you find that there was no balance to it?
But if it was women, and we taught boys as well.
I know.
If it was women, you would have...
So that happened, right? The boys are having these conversations and I'm just like, they're just kids. It's fine, right? I'm holding it in. The breaks and their lunchtimes roll about and I'm looking at Sophia in a set way. I'm just like, you disgusting. You look that direction. And then staff members come in to the classroom. They come to chill and talk to you. And again, really respectful to me, really enjoy me. But it's like I become like safe to everybody to be themselves around after a while. I'm just like melding into the furniture, and they're speaking very openly with
like
you.
The male stuff.
The guys are speaking very open. Like, I'm a bro now to them.
Yeah. Because that's good though.
Yeah, but I'm your wife, and the things they're saying to you.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? Me and you operate with very clear guidelines.
Yes.
Our Islam says this. Our Islam says that.
Yeah.
We don't want anything to come into our marriage.
Yes.
So we conduct ourselves as perfectly as possible. The other people, regardless of whether they're Muslim or not, don't have the same value system, the same understanding of their marriage.
Yeah. That's what's crazy. They were married.
They don't have these clear guidelines. And then you're in a work environment, and work is just the same as college and uni, basically. After a bit, whether the company's got 1,000 members or it's got 20 members in this, everyone's just gonna start vibing, chatting.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It gets super comfortable,
and
especially...
you go back to that young energy.
Yeah.
And we're seeing married men and young men say, yo, she is bad. And they're not asking me, would I? But they're coming to tell me how...
They come to vent to you about how attractive they're finding somebody across there.
Yeah.
And it's so weird to me.
Like,
I'm just like in the room, like, if I was that person's wife and I heard this, I would cry right now. Like, broke my heart. I was like, how can you talk like that when your wife is at home? Like, do you know what I mean?
I think what you got to do was peek behind the curtain a bit, yeah?
Yeah, close that curtain right back up.
No, but I think it was good.
It was good.
I think it was good.
It was good, and now I'm in a way more informed place.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, at the time, it was shocking. Like, I understand kids, right? Kids are kids, right? It was very intense, though, because the teenage boys I've met are very polite and they talk like that with their friends, but not in front of me.
Your kids,
I don't hear that.
Those kids ain't like our kids.
Do you know, like, these kids will say everything. They will describe. They will do gestures. I don't mean little. I mean no.
I can't even do it on the camera because it's a family channel.
They're showing you with their fingers
Tongues,
what they
teeth.
Every object in the room is up
spreading
for
butter on the bread.
everything reminds them of
everything.
Every table is for them to bend over and do everything.
Same with the chairs, same with the computers.
All day long. And it's like they can't control their hours and they wake up in the morning and they just have to
talking very
hump
openly.
a chair. So Sufyan gets asked multiple times a day, would you sleep with this woman? What would you rate this woman? How do you find this woman? Would you, if you weren't married though, right? That's fine, right? It's kids. It's very shocking to me. It's not feeling great on my soul, to be honest. But then I see these like adult men continuing the same sentiment, right? Yeah. And they're not asking you, would you? Because I'm in the room and you're married.
Smart enough to know that at least.
Yeah. But they're like venting how they feel. And I'm like, and they're all married or in a relationship. So Sufyan's calming me down with the boys and he's like, listen, this is how 15-year-old boys are. I'm not a 15-year-old boy. And I'm like, I don't know men though. Are you all like this? I don't know. So the boys talking to you about female staff. And some of the female staff, you can tell, enjoy the way the boys are talking about them. And they start to dress in ways that encourage the boys to talk about them like that, which is weird. That's a whole weird dynamic that I find. Yeah. Like, why do you want teenage boys to lust after you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's weird. And that definitely happened.
Bearing in mind that the only people that are looking at you that are teenage boys.
Like, that happened a lot, though.
Yeah.
So
that was weird.
So, like, it would even be like you'd see people climbing into cars in ways that nobody climbs into the car with the boy behind them. And they're wearing like yoga pants. You can see everything.
Well, that's where they were getting the validation. I think these type of people take validation where it comes.
It's weird.
And their whole demeanor is validate me. Yeah. And it always comes from hurt and broken things and stuff like that. But that's how they
What's mad though is the boys even know that.
Yeah, of course they do.
I found that weird actually. I never understood that before I worked there, is that boys would look at a girl who objectifies herself a lot and they say that they would like have relations with her, but they would never marry her and they would not even kiss her. And that's so strange, isn't it?
This isn't a 25-year-old man.
Yeah.
This is a 15-year-old boy. Yeah. A 15-year-old boy talking about people that are in their 20s.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Knowing exactly, a 15-year-old boy can psychologically break it down where a woman's approach.
Yeah, that's mad.
At 15 years old.
Yeah.
Obviously, the boys are cultured and lived a lot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not like, well, men are saying this. Well, you can tell.
Yeah.
You're literally walking with it all over you. Do you know what I mean?
That shocks me a lot.
You might write the words of your life all over you because you're carrying it with you anyway. Yeah.
So then that was difficult for me, as in certain staff members were really trying to like dress in ways to attract the boys. Mm-hmm. Then they would come into the classroom and try and get your attention.
To no avail.
Yeah.
To no avail.
Yeah, but there's the fact is as well is all their types were mixed black athletic tall guys. Like that's their type. Like everybody on site, that was that tended to be their type. And I would just think like,
I'm the only mixed athletic tall.
But I'm saying, and you're a captain saver.
No, well, I was the head. I'm the head.
You're the guy that swoops in and like helps everybody with what's going on.
That was my role though, wasn't it?
That was your role, yeah. But I was just like damsels in distress all over the place. It was hard when people would come into the classroom.
I understand that, yeah. And
I'm dressed modestly, like I'm covered. Yeah. And I know that you know that I've got a good body. Postpartum, give me a break right now. But I'm saying like, you knew that I had a good figure and everything. And although I can tell myself, my husband knows it at home, blah, blah. It's hard when I'm sat there covered and there's somebody very uncovered. And they're not just like going about their life and stuff. And they're being more hostile towards me, extremely friendly towards you,
100%.
And then like bending over things and leaning over things in the classroom, and you know
it did happen,
like no, but I can't do anything. Like if that happened out and about, one would just walk on past, or I'd be like, excuse me, like blah blah blah, or I've never had to do that. I don't know what I would do. Excuse me, can you stop trying
Can you
to
straighten your back out, please? Stop arching.
Can you stop twerking in my husband's face? I just didn't know how to deal with that because it was that thing where I had to just sit there, watch it happen, and I'm not allowed to be unprofessional. I'm not allowed to say anything.
Yeah.
And I just have to take it. And a lot of the people on site really cared about how they looked, and they had a lot of surgery stuff. Like,
yeah, we're talking Brazilian butt lifts, lips done, boob jobs, cheeks, implants, everything.
And they're dressing to the 10
every
every
day.
day. Like, they're dressing to get comments every day.
Not necessarily all of them from the kids, but they're
Going out
looking the best,
yeah,
basically.
And it's weird, the staff thing in care homes. So we're in a school, and there's a care home on site, but it's very like you're mixing staff and you're mixing things a lot. But care homes are weird because it's like you sleep in the...
I've worked in this sector since I was 21, and I've done loads of cover shifts in the care homes. Like, listen, all of these staff just have sex with each other.
That's what's weird.
You're talking about people staying in the house together, on the sofa together. Kids go to bed.
Even when I sat on the sofa, they're like interlocking legs and grabbing each other and cuddling each other.
It just becomes college and uni stuff, doesn't it?
So weird.
Basically. It just turns into college and uni stuff.
So weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
The people that are around us, like, we've got a marriage, we've got this protected thing, but the people around us they've not got that dynamic. And even with each other, they know that each other's married or with people, but they're so touchy-feely with each other. And they're like, do you know what I mean? Like, so touchy, and they'll like put their legs over each other and cuddle each other. And I'm thinking,
is that not college stuff though?
Yeah, but I'm not married in college.
No, this is the thing. I think where we had the main disconnect was that you're seeing these things for the first time.
Yeah, I'd never met girls like this as well. I've only really been around
we went to Islamic school.
Yeah, I've only been around Muslim people, and I've not really seen people mix with the opposite sex that much, and it's blowing my mind.
Yeah, so you're seeing this thing for the first time.
Yeah,
you're hearing the boys say, this is how boys think. You're hearing the males come in and saying, this is how they think, whether they're in relationships or not. We're hearing from the kids saying, look, they know that such and such is married, but he grabbed her bottom and then he jumped on her lap and they ran around cuddling each other. And even in work settings now, people have work husbands and work wives.
I think that's so weird.
It is very, very suspect.
So weird.
So I understand the viewpoint, but for me, I'm in my 30s, and regardless of where the other people are located, they're
in their 30s too.
I'm not them, no, and we kept on having this conversation when I'm saying, listen, I am not the other people here. I am me. Would you marry any of them? No. So you've married me, right? And I'm conducting myself in accordance with these guidelines, and you know it. Hold on, and then I'd say, yes, these are college people. These are 16-year-old, 15-year-old kids, and they're all acting like they're in uni. But I'm not 15. And you were saying, oh, well, if they're thinking that, well, are you thinking that?
I was always thinking, is that what you think in your head?
And our main falling out things, like in the context of work, was that I'm saying, why are you not trusting me, firstly, to conduct myself in a certain way? Why are you comparing me to 15-year-old boys? They're just little horny kids. I've been 15. I'm 30. I'm 30s. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a 15-year-old horny kid. I've got married to you. We're married now, and you know why I've married you. And I wouldn't have got married to you if I didn't like work in accordance with these values, or if I thought I was going to do something else. And on top of that, what have I done to arouse suspicion? And the answer was always...
Arouse is a terrible word to use in this.
The answer was always nothing. You've done nothing. But all the other guys do. So why are you any different to them? And I don't think that it was...
No, but I respected these guys. Like, these were like nice...
Yeah, but you're fresh
Muslim men.
You were very sheltered and a bit naive. Yeah. And I'm like, how can you hold me to somebody else's standards?
I didn't know you though.
I understand.
We just got married. I didn't know you. I know. I didn't know you, and all I know is, okay, I'm around people, and this is how guys are talking, this is how guys are thinking. That guy's married, and he still like touched that girl's leg, and he was like making a joke about how he's like, so I was seeing how far up her leg she'd let me touch, and she kept letting me go further. And I'm just like, at the same time, people think this is funny.
It was a bit mad. But I think I have to not try to venture into haram side of conversations, but there's a difference between somebody that can access girls and can get girls and has had female attention, opposed to somebody who doesn't really get female attention. Now, in that specific circumstance, some of those people, maybe back then, when they were young and in high school, but you know that they're not going out and basically having a pick of the bunch.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So whilst they're getting attention in that certain
weird. It's like Big Brother house. It's like you choose from the people you're around.
And their wife was at home, and you know what their wife's situation. One of them, they've got like 4 kids, so their wife's not in the best physique right now. One of them's pregnant, the wife's pregnant. Another one, oh yeah, he's been sleeping on the sofa recently. And do you know what I mean? So these situations now, they're like, oh well, now there's this little young 25-year-old she's just available. I'll get my little flirt there, and I'll let that out there. Do you know what I mean? But that wasn't me.
But that was what made it worse too, because when I would get upset with you about these things, like say somebody would interact with you in a way that was like inappropriate, or try to interact with you in a way that was inappropriate, it would hurt my feelings so much, and neither of us can address it in a professional do you know what I mean? And so it's like that's just the way they act with people, and they're attracted to you and they find you good looking, so that's just how
if they were, but you'd assume.
But I'm saying it hurts my feelings, and then I also know that dynamic of if you're not getting on with your spouse at home, you go to work and you get your positive vibes from there. So then I'd be upset with you about something, we'd go to work and we're acting good professionally, but we know we're a bit off with each other, like
behind the
low-key.
scenes,
and then you're going and having a one-on-one meeting with one of the women. Do you know what I mean? Because that's your job role. Your job role is to have these meetings with people. And I'm thinking, great, we're not even on great terms right now. And he's sat in a room with her, and they're probably having a right little giggle, light laugh. She's a lovely person. Probably having a great time there. Like, he's thinking now, wow, this is real female energy.
That is not what I felt.
I just sat there in the classroom like.
I would say though,
out in the rain,
and then the kids are like, "Yo, he's walking off with her."
Oh my god, all the time. Kids would be like,
Mara,
"Oh my god, this how."
Look at her.
Once the kid goes, Mara, listen, I walked past the office and I heard them making sex noises in there. I was like, I heard moaning in there. I heard that. I'm not gonna say the name. He's like, I heard him moaning and saying stuff's name, and I was like.
Bro,
but that's how vulgar it would get. Like I don't mean they're like, oh, I heard a smooch. No, they're like, I heard over a table. Like
they were funny kids.
It was intense. You know what I mean? Obviously, no, it's not true. Even little things of like somebody's got their hair out and they've got perfume on. You know the perfume's nice, and then I know that you're sat next to that person for an extended time when you're having a meeting with them. These things are nice and they're attractive. You know, a nice smell is a nice smell. And then say they were not dressed the most appropriate, like they're wearing yoga pants and that's it basically. So I know that your eyes are going to be averted and stuff, but if all day boys are talking about, yo, have you seen her butt, you seen her butt, you seen her butt, in my head I'm like, so subconsciously are you going to look over at the butt because your mind just thinks that person butt.
I would say that look, we go to gyms, we go out, and it just so happens
we go to gyms?
Well, it just so happens that the society that we live in, people dress the way that they want to dress. And right now, I think it would be difficult to argue that some of the way that people dress is a bit ridiculous. You can say, oh no, it's not. It's a bit ridiculous. It's crazy, especially coming from like people who value modesty. And if you take it back like 50 years only, people weren't really dressing like that. So it's part of a man's aura to lower his gaze. We have to lower our gaze anyway, regardless of whether look back in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there were a lot of people that weren't dressed appropriate. You're talking in a country, not everybody just wore big baggy jalbabs. Do you know what I mean? Some people did dress indecently. We have to keep our eyes low. As a young kid, you're looking at bums and you're looking at, that's just the culture. It makes you do that, innit? As an adult, you have to intentionally look down. And even when you've looked at bums in the past, you have to correct that in your older life and make sure that you don't do those things. And it becomes a source of like pride. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm happy not to look in that direction.
I just can't relate. I've never tried to look at a guy's bum.
I'm not going to lie that it's not. I won't say that it's not tempting. Tempting is the wrong word, but it's definitely a test. Like sometimes you just see people and you have to. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want that person to think that I'm looking at them. I don't want other people to think that I'm looking at them. And I don't want to look at the person in a sexual way. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes if you're just seeing someone walk naked out the corner of your eye, your head will just turn that way. So you're literally having to actively, especially in today's world, look the other way.
This wasn't like one or two people, by the way. This is like everybody on set. This is like
everybody.
And there was a high turnover too, so there'd be like new staff coming in and all the women just dressed the same because there was no uniform, there was no rules, and that's just the way they wanted. They wanted to show off whatever they got, and they cared about what they looked like a lot.
The hardest thing about it was trying to convince you that I'm trustworthy, basically.
But all day I'm hearing every thought about how men are, like, the boys are talking about how they see everybody and the men are talking about how they see everybody. I'm just like, are you really the one man in the world that is not thinking these things?
No, not the one man in the world who wasn't, but the one
Yeah,
man.
but it's also sad that you think it, but you just don't act on it, or you don't say it, or you look at it. It's even sad of like, oh, so you do have that instinct to like look at a woman or think about a woman like that.
No,
because I think women are very like, truly, not every woman maybe, but like I truly don't have a desire to think about how another man looks naked or
men and women,
do something with a man, or do you know what I mean?
Men and women are different first. We're wired differently. I don't have the desire to look at a naked woman. Yeah. Well, from when men are courting women, or when men are dating, and when men are young, they are encouraged. They've got red hot blood in their bodies anyway, and testosterone and stuff like that. But especially now, you're wired to think about women in a certain type of way.
Yeah.
That kind of wiring from young. Look, you don't even need to go into conversations about porn or TikTok or what is available. Just you go to a gym. Do you know what I mean? You're wired to think in a certain way, and it's very difficult to undo the wiring. You have to undo it. And like I said, as a Muslim, it becomes a source of pride, and like you hold your head high. And I've told you, if we go out and I see the women running around in skimpy things, firstly I don't look. You go and sit down and talk to some. I work with some of these women now at my new job. You sit down and talk to some of these women, they're broken.
I know.
It's sad. It's sad.
I know.
And
it's
I
sad.
literally look at them, and I don't say I feel sorry for them. I wish that may Allah just help them and guide you, because they're not happy in the way you're conducting yourself, and it's not about the way you're dressing. It's about what
like
you're bringing to the table.
The one we were
do you know what I
working
mean?
with would very openly talk about how many guys they slept with and
you know what I mean?
who they slept with, and
And they're not happy.
that
as a
that
man,
did make me sad.
That as a 15-year-old, you might think, oh yeah. At my big age, I'm not interested in.
I get that.
I got married because I wanted to spend the rest of my life with you. Yeah. So I married the girl that I found most beautiful out of everybody else. The girl whose characteristics were better than everyone else. You weren't the same as anyone else.
Yeah.
You were totally different. I don't need to go into a list of all the reasons I married you, because there are many. Do you know what I mean? But and then when these people who were just like this person from my next door neighbor, these people here were just all very normal people. The lips being done and the Brazilian butt lift and things, that don't mean anything to me.
I know, but you just hear men are visual creatures.
No,
Men
they
are
are.
visual creatures.
They are.
So then it's like, okay, so my husband has to work hard to just look up all the time, and it's that thing of like that must get tiring at a certain point where you're fed up.
But what's the reward for it? And
I know.
I'm telling you, you're a machine. Your mind is a machine, and you train yourself. Just like you were wired to do something early, you train yourself to do the opposite thing. Now, is it a sin to gaze upon the naked women or to gaze upon people with lust? It's a sin, isn't it? The zina, and the zina of the eyes, the zina of the tongue, the zina of, do you know what I mean? So it's a sin. I don't want to mount up sin, and Allah knows that it's our nature to do that and asks us to do something else. Is it not the woman's nature to, or even anyone's to get some compliments and look nice? Yeah. Is it not easy for women to like wear more revealing clothes because you know more people, whether or not saying that you want them to touch you, but are you not going to get more attention? So is it not in our nature as humans to kind of seek attention and people to view us as like glamour things and sexualize us and stuff? When you're losing weight now, would you not rather wear something that's a bit more fitting than something that makes you look baggy?
Yeah, but
why?
Yeah, but for you, if I was popping across the shops, I wouldn't care.
Okay.
If I was in front of kids, I wouldn't care. Do you know what I mean? For you, I would.
What about when you're single though?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the point. But not everyone's operating as though I'm only doing this.
I just don't relate to I don't relate to that constant temptation thing of women. Not that it's temptation for you, but I'm saying hearing the thoughts of guys all day long and hearing how they think and how they view women and what they want to do to women all day long. That was like a lot.
It was a lot.
And you didn't have to feel it back. I had to sit there and take it because we were surrounded by boys all day. Boys were never like, yo, Mara, do you find him handsome? They never...
That's gay.
Yeah, I know. But I'm
gay.
saying it was never flipped. You were never made to feel like... You know what I mean? You were being pit against something or there was a standard for you. And bear in mind, although I'm postpartum now and I'm like... obviously trying to get back to like feeling great and all that stuff. Motherhood's very humbling. That whole pregnancy thing is very humbling to your appearance and stuff. But I felt really good at the time. I felt very confident about myself. My body was...
Everyone did a vote in the house and the home and they said, who's the most beautiful staff member? And everyone voted for Amara. Amara's the most beautiful.
They're really nice.
They thought she was so glamorous.
But I'm saying, like, it wasn't that, oh, I was lacking so much self-esteem that all these women, look, I really liked the women, like, even after there was one that was especially difficult. But even that, like, in retrospect, like, I wish her well in it. Like, I don't feel anything bad towards her. And it's that same thing, as I don't dislike these people. It was just at the time so shocking to me and so out of my comfort zone, and so it's not something that you have to feel as a man. Yeah. Like, it happened once to you. Well once this guy once this guy came, you tell it.
Yeah, a guy came in and he was moving a bit funny with Amara because he didn't know that she was married to me, obviously. And one of the kids said, "Yo, so pre that." And the kid was like, "Yo, shall I bang him?"
Oh, the kid had his back.
Right, was he trying to move to Sophia? Yo, Sophia, shall I bang him? He goes, "Right, he's pretty safe for that, but I've got to watch when you go, bro. I want to knock him out."
First of all, the kids all had your back.
Yeah.
Why are they not having my back? Why are they asking you to look at booties?
You can't expect the kids to.
Second
think
of
like
all,
a woman.
I shut down the conversation. Like, I as soon as I felt like he was like being a bit flirtatious, blanked him, moved away, stone face. I was like, yeah, but I was like, why don't you do that? And you're like, because I work with these people and the people I have. That's what I found difficult, is you had to engage with people that we could both clearly see fancied you, and you had to engage with them like professionally, and you are very professional. But it was like, if it happened to me, I'm not in that same position, so I would just not talk to the person again. Like, I would just shut down and be like, I'm married, and just like, do you know what I mean? So it was difficult to just constantly be tested with it, and then shaitan gets in your head, and it'd be like times where you would be across there, and I knew you were having a one-on-one meeting with one of the women.
Yeah, well, that's unnatural. That's unnatural.
It's not a normal situation.
In terms of Islam, nothing goes like that. Yeah. So I think that obviously I prayed for you to come to work, and you came to work.
Yeah.
I pray for you to be with me all the time, and you're with me all the time. And it's worth saying to everybody else, this only lasted for like 9 months. Yeah.
Only
9 months to a year. It was a bit rough. In the second year and a half, Amara's
but I knew you then. Yeah. No, but I understood how it went, but I also knew you and built trust with you. I didn't know you before. Do you know what I mean?
And my thing was like, trust me. In general, trust should be earned. But if you're marrying someone, you have to start with a basis of we trust each other fully. But I understood that you didn't know me.
It was just an unnatural environment. It was being thrown into the deep end, like being tested with your loyalty and love. We just got married.
But I think it was great.
It was great.
I think it was great. I think you needed to see me in that setting. I think even now, look, we work in settings as Muslims that it's not halal. A lot of it's not halal. It's not. The hijab allows you to interact with people. The modest dress allows you to interact with people. These things exist so that we're in protected states. You can protect yourself, and you don't feel the need to show off and protect yourself in that manner. And the men know that there's a guard,
a boundary in it.
Yeah. So we're meant to interact with each other and mix with each other. But for instance, me being a head and someone else being a manager, and me spending extended periods of time with this woman
alone with them,
1-on-1.
Yeah.
And in relationships, when people do cheat, who did he tend to cheat with?
With people at work.
Only people you access, innit?
Yeah.
Your co-workers, your neighbours, someone from your little yoga
And there's
club.
no dress codes when it's like private sector as well. There's no dress codes. Everybody's very familial and very informal with each other, and it's just... And how do other people know the lines when they don't have the lines?
It was an interesting peek behind the curtain for you.
Yeah, it was.
I think big me up because I conduct myself properly, Amara.
You do conduct yourself. I remember I was going to say, you're a low-key guy, but it shocked me how friendly you were, like, the first day. But at work, you're very, like, personable and friendly, and that shocked me. Like, the first time I ever saw it, I was like...
I've got to have my work face on,
because I'm so used to you being like, you know, in Morocco, you're like low-key looking down. Then you're looking at a woman in the eye, I'm like...
You have to have a conversation.
Whore! Can't say whore. But I was like, it shocked me so much how like, ha, friendly. I was like, he's smiling. Oh my God. Like at somebody else. Oh my God. But it was just a shock. It was just a shock for me. Yeah. But you're extremely professional. I respect you now.
You trust me?
I do trust you because I know you now. I respect you and I trust you.
How do you feel now that I work as a head?
It's not that I'm super happy about it now. I'm not like so comfortable with it now. It still makes me uncomfortable, and I know it's just a necessary thing that happens right now. Alhamdulillah, I get to stay at home because you go to work, so I feel like in one regard I can't moan about it, and I know that you would love to not be in that environment too. You'd love to not be forced into those situations too. But at the end of the day, I trust you and I respect you, and I know that like I know you in this marriage. Do you know what I
know
mean?
me now, yeah.
You're so in this marriage
Yeah.
and so in this family that you're not going to do anything. You got no desire to do anything either. But it still makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, that's why it's hard to talk about,
I
because
think
it's
that's
something
fair,
that
yeah.
I still get uncomfortable about, the idea of you like one-on-one with another woman at work and in situations like even you going in the car with another woman is strange. But your work like puts you in that situation.
Puts you in vulnerable.
Very strange situations.
And just look, anyone who's thinking, oh, your wife's just insecure, or yeah, maybe she's a bit immature, or blah 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 blah. Listen, she's not. She's a Muslim. Yeah, there is a healthy jealousy that spouses are meant to feel.
That's how I know that I'm not wrong though.
You're not wrong.
For so
You're not
long,
wrong.
although
you were wrong with the way that you
dealt with it, yeah,
and you wouldn't let it drop with me sometimes.
because I would just fall out with you for a very
your
long
initial
time.
feeling
Yeah.
is that the way that we're conducting ourselves down here,
feels wrong.
That's not the way that we're meant to
But
conduct ourselves.
that's how I got some like catharsis from it, is the fact that Islam's rules and Islam's guidelines protects you from all these scenarios. Like if our workplace operated with the rules of Islam, my feelings would never ever get hurt, because there's no being alone with the opposite sex, there's no being uncovered in front of the opposite sex, like all these things would not be an issue at all. And that's how I know that what I'm feeling is not alien and it's not stupid. We've just got a desensitized world.
We have got desensitized.
Do you know what I mean?
And it's made me question as well. Obviously, alhamdulillah. Look, out of all of the people there, I was the only one whose wife was present with him at the time. And I know sometimes you were thinking, okay, well, you're acting like this in front of me.
I did think that sometimes,
because those people are being their true selves without the wife watching.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Allah is watching.
Yeah.
And I, at least, look, I, hand on my heart, would not conduct myself in any other way. I act like you're in front of me all the time. But more so than that, Allah's watching me.
I believe that. I believe that.
And look, some people it takes their wife to keep them in check, and other people Allah can keep them in check. But and I'm not saying that I'm the guy who Allah can keep me in check, but at least I had the practice about with you in front of me. Yeah. How to conduct myself
and what would hurt me as well.
And
because that was something for you to learn too. You didn't always know what was going to hurt my feelings, and it's good to know what would hurt.
And even when I was on my best behavior, you still got hurt. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm acting in accordance with everything that I can do and being as appropriate as possible.
Yeah. But then sometimes I had to be like, okay, be rational about it. As in, okay, he's doing his best. Are your feelings getting hurt in a way that is reasonable, or is it not very reasonable? And I had to keep myself in check in that way. But I'm saying though, no, I trust you and everything, but I don't expect you to be perfect either. I know sometimes you'll be put in situations that maybe I wouldn't like if I saw, and sometimes maybe there'll be an interaction that I wouldn't like if I saw. But I also trust you to like deal with yourself and navigate yourself, and to know what would hurt me and to care about what would hurt me. And I do trust you. I do trust that you wouldn't do something that would hurt my feelings because you love me.
I do.
And if there are ever times where something happened by accident, I don't mean you accidentally look at a booty. I mean like say you accidentally have to
look. See, she did it again.
Mom! I'm saying though, like, I don't expect you to be perfect, right? Accidents will happen. Maybe you will look at a booty by accident sometimes, because I don't know. We're different. I don't have a desire to look at a man's bottom, but I don't know. But I'm saying I don't expect you to be perfect, but I expect you to care and to love me. And I know that you care about Allah. I know you care about how you're judged. There's only a certain, this is what I've grasped that I didn't grasp at first. There's only a certain amount that is my business. At the end of the day, same with me. How I conduct myself in private is my business. How you conduct yourself in private is your business. It's when it spills over into affecting each other. So I just got to see you in the best way, give you the benefit of doubt, and trust you.
Well, you have to judge me on my actions as well. Yeah, that's true. How I've treated you. Because literally, I could want to have relationships with everyone. I don't, but I could want to look.
I love when you put these images in my mind.
That's the thing, innit? If somebody, we get rewarded for our intention, and we get rewarded for not doing things that we were inclined to do, whether that was coming from us or from the shaitan, we don't know. So I can want to be in a relationship with all these people and think about it sometimes, but only be loyal to you, and you never see anything. Then I'm rewarded on my conduct to you. Maybe I need to have some internal therapy going on what I'm doing over here, but do you know what I mean? Yeah. So in conclusion, do you regret working together?
No, I loved it.
I think it was great.
I think it made us so
second year was fire, right?
Yeah.
The second year
it was
even
such good fun. It was such good fun, and we just got so close, and I got to learn about you, so I got to build so much respect for you just seeing how you do things. But that was testing. That was very testing.
It was testing.
And they were so unrelatable. It was circumstances that were not relatable. Nobody could help me. Nobody could relate. I tried talking to my mom about it, and my sisters, nobody can relate. So if you can't relate either, just trying, before you judge me, I think I was just like insecure moaning, just try and climb to the experience. It was straight away when we got married. It was a lot to process. I did not know anything about men.
And we nearly didn't make it through.
Because
it was just like on this loop.
Yeah.
It's like we got through it and something happened and we started again, and that drives me crazy.
It does.
That's the one thing I'm not good at.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the video.
If you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the little chit chat.
Yeah. My wife's not insecure. My wife's not immature. My wife's a Muslim woman. And we are living in some suspect circumstances sometimes. May Allah improve all of our situations and allow us to act in accordance with our religious beliefs. And keep our wives happy. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Also,
if your partner or your husband or your wife works in these sectors, don't worry. It doesn't mean that they are doing something naughty.
Yeah. We're not trying to cause fitna.
No.
We're not trying to cause fitna. But for the men here, my camera's turned off over there, so I'm talking into this one. For the men who are watching, remember that Allah is watching. Remember that if your wife was present right now, would you behave like that?
Yeah.
Same for the women as well.
Yeah.
Please conduct
don't
yourself.
Don't hurt
as
your
Muslims.
lover's
think
feelings.
about it. There's a lot of reward in this, yeah? And I'm telling you, men, you know it does happen. Sharpen up now. Don't do it again, please.
Don't do it again. Okay, cool.